I think like a lot of people, I've been inside of my house a lot more than I thought I would ever be. At first I was fine with it, I actually enjoyed it, but then the walls were slowly starting to come at me. However, I didn't feel safe enough to actually go anywhere, which means that while I have had days off, I haven't had an actual proper vacation since 2019. But now that a lot of people are getting vaccinated, I felt confident enough to at least go on a vacation within my own country. My best friend had the same idea, and so we packed our bags and set sail to the Dutch island Texel, where we rented a tent for a whole week. Texel is one of the 5 inhabited wooden islands in the Netherlands. It's about 20 kilometers long and 8 kilometers wide, making it the biggest island of the 5. Texel currently has 13.6k inhabitants and is one of the last places to be free during the Second World War. All across the island you can find war memorials. Texel is also very rich in nature, whether it's the beaches, the dunes, the fields or the woods. On the first evening we simply took a walk along the beach and through the dunes. It was very windy that day, but it was a calming walk nonetheless. In Dutch we even have a word for this, uitwaaien. It's a verb and it means that you're going to walk through the wind with the intention of feeling refreshed. During this walk my inner gremlin awoke and I started collecting rocks and shells. I used to do that as a kid as well, and I would often walk around with like pockets full of rocks until my parents made me throw half of them away. But this time my parents weren't there, so I just ended up taking a lot of rocks home. My friend and I had a whole week ahead of us, so on our first full day at Texel we went to do the most obvious thing, chill at the beach. Even though we already went to the beach the evening before, but that doesn't count. While the south of the country was flooding because, climate change, the weather during our stay was pretty decent. Though it was a bit chilly when we went to a speedboat to go see some seals in the Dutch Navy base. Also, please excuse the shaky camera and terrible quality. It was quite difficult to film a moving thing while also sitting on another moving thing. The Navy base was the next stop of the tour. I'm not really a boat person, I guess, but it was quite impressive to see the sheer size of these ships. They were massive. Skipping to the next day, we went to a beachcombing museum. If you're unaware what beachcombing is, it's basically taking home shit that you find on the beach, and if you do it long enough and frequently enough, you'll come across some pretty interesting stuff. It absolutely blew my mind how many things there were on display there that had just been collected in the past couple of decades. In the museum we watched a pretty interesting film about a beachcomber who proudly told stories of his adventures, in many of which he managed to outsmart the police and take souvenirs, as he calls them, from stranded ships and containers. The way he talked about it was pretty funny. It was very impressive to see how these beachcombers basically keep the beaches as clean as possible. My mum always joked that if we had lived near a beach, I would be a beachcomber too, because, well, I just like picking up random stuff from the ground, I guess. I think this vacation made me realize that if I'm not near quiet places and nature enough, that I simply just die and wither away slowly. Because I really find peace in nature, and during this vacation that's exactly what I got. I went in nature a lot and I felt so much more at peace. I live in a city and I like the city, but some days I just wish to run away and escape it all, and I think a lot of people have that feeling, but it made me realize that maybe I am happier if I eventually move somewhere where it's not as much as a city but more quiet, and where I'm constantly surrounded by nature, where I don't have to find nature, I don't have to actively go out and find nature. During this vacation we walked a lot and we even went on a tandem bike together, and it's just a miracle that we didn't crash. It was quite funny, but I saw so many great and beautiful places, and it just made me appreciate the world around me more. It made me appreciate my own country more, because usually I would look at other countries and see they have mountains. We don't have mountains here, so I would be really jealous of their mountains and their forests and the rivers and stuff. And then, coming here to this island, I realized, it's not so bad here. It is quite pretty here if you just know where to look. On our last day, we decided to cross a few more things off our list. First of all, we went to see the Seal and Wildlife Rescue Center. This center is called Ecomare, and here they care for injured and lost seals and other wildlife until they're strong enough to be put out in the wild again. This center's top priority is animal welfare, and so animals that can't handle the stress of visitors will not be displayed to the public and will be kept safe elsewhere. After that, we went to see a watchtower that we had been making jokes about the entire week because of its funny name. We kept seeing it on a map and we figured out that, we couldn't go home and not have checked it out, so we went to check it out.
Dit is de fonteinsnol. Doet erop op. Oh, nu nog geen zin in. Ja, dat. It better. Een kuttrap dit ook. Nog meer trappen. Heel veel bomen. In de verte de zee.
Finally, we really want to see the sunset at the beach. Sunsets are one of my favorite things ever. I was depressed for about 8 years, and whenever I felt like the world was rotten, I would just look out at the sunset and just be mesmerized by the colors. It made me feel like maybe the world wasn't so bad and maybe I should stick around to see the next sunset and the next one. And I'm glad I did. But I had never seen a sunset at the beach before, so this was the one thing that I felt like I had to do before going home. So we waited for a few hours and slowly saw the sun vanish behind the horizon. It was absolutely amazing and it was a perfect way to end this vacation. If you're ever looking for a place to retreat to, Texel might just be the place for you.